بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلي وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Sahih Bukhari of Imam Bukhari. The book is book that 3 turns to a mosque for remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Itikaf. Narrated Abdullah ibn Umar, Allah supposed to practice itikaf in the last 10 days of the month of Ramadan. Narrated Aisha is the wife of the Prophet used to practice itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan till he died, and then his wives used to practice itikaf after him. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, Allah supposed to practice itikaf in the middle of 10 days of Ramadan, and once he stayed in the itikaf till the night of the 21st, and it was the night in the morning of which he used to come out of his itikaf. The Prophet said, whoever was in itikaf with me should stay in itikaf for the last 10 days. For I was informed of the date of the night of Qadr, but I have been caused to forget it. In the dream I saw myself into in mud and water in the morning of that night. She so looked for it in the last 10 nights, and in the odd ones of them. It rained that night, and the roof of the mosque in ripple, as it was made of the leaf stalks of date palms. I saw with my own eyes the mark of mud and water on the forehead of the Prophet ﷺ. That is in the morning of the 21st. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet used to bend his head out to me while he was in itikaf, the mosque during my monthly periods, and I would comb and oil his hair. Narrated Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, Allah supposed to let his head in the house while he was in the mosque, and I will comb and oil his hair. When in itikaf, he used not to enter the house except for my need. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet used to embrace me during my menses. He also used to put his head out of the mosque while he was in itikaf, and would wash it during my menses. Narrated Ibn Umar asked the Prophet, I vowed in the present period of illness to stay in itikaf for one night in Masjid al-Haram. The Prophet said to him, fulfill your vow. Narrated Amra, as Aisha said, the Prophet used to practice itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan, and I used to pitch a tent for him, and after offering the morning prayer, he used to enter the tent. Hafs asked the permission of Aisha to pitch the tent for her, and she allowed her, and she pitched her tent. When Zainab bint Jahsh saw it, she pitched another tent. In the morning, the Prophet noticed the tent. He saw this, he was told of the old situation. Then the Prophet said, you think that they intended to do righteous by doing this? He therefore abandoned the itikaf in that month, and practiced itikaf for 10 days in the month of Shawwal. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet intended to practice itikaf, and when he reached the place where he intended to perform itikaf, he saw something in the tents of Aisha, Hafsa, and Zainab. So he said, do you consider that they intended to do righteous by doing this? And then he went away and did not perform itikaf in Ramadan, but performed it in the month of Shawwal for 10 days. Later, Ali bin al-Hussein, so Safiya, the wife of the Prophet, told me that she went to Allah's apostle to visit him in the mosque while he was in itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan. She had a talk with him for a while, then she got up in order to return home. The Prophet accompanied her. When they reached the gate of the mosque, opposite the door of Salama, two Ansari men were passing by, and they greeted Allah's apostle. He told them, do not run away, and I said, she is my wife. Safiya bint Huway, both of them said, Subhanallah, how dare we think of any evil, or Allah's apostle. And they felt it. The Prophet said to them, Satan reaches everywhere in the human body as blood reaches in it, everywhere in one's body. Was afraid lest Satan might insert an evil thought in your minds. Narrated Abu Salama bin Abdurrahman, I asked Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, do you hear Allah supposed to talking about the nights of Qadr? He replied in the affirmative and said, once we were in the cave with Allah's apostle in the middle of 10 days of Ramadan, and we came out of it in the morning of the 20th, and Allah's apostle, they delivered a sermon on the 20th of Ramadan, and said, I was informed of the date of the night of Qadr in my dream, but had forgotten it. So look for it in the odd night of the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan. I saw myself prostrated in mud and water on that night, a sign of the night of Qadr. So whoever had been in itikaf with Allah's apostle should return for it. The people returned to the mosque for itikaf. There was no trace of clouds in the sky, but all of a sudden a cloud came and it rained. Then the prayer was established. They stood for the prayer. Allah's apostle prostrated in mud and water, and I saw mud over the forehead and the nose of the Prophet.